Oi oi girls and boys and everything in between, it's Ace Trainer Liam back with another video. But first, before we get started, I got two things we need to talk about. First off, a lot of you have been asking, hey Liam, where are your Let's Plays? Why aren't you doing Let's Plays anymore? Are you going to do a Let's Play of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? I'm already doing a Let's Play of Ultra Sun on my second channel, Ace Trainer Liam Extra. So if you're looking for my daily Let's Plays of Pokemon, that's the place to go. The Ultra Sun Quadlock is already underway. We're about 4 or 5 episodes in, so if you've not already subscribed to my second channel, Ace Trainer Liam Extra, that's where all my Let's Plays are. If you want my daily content, that is where you need to go. Ace Trainer Liam Extra. There's a link in the description and also at the end of every video that I do, so go check it out there. If you want to see me do a Let's Play of Pokemon Ultra Sun, it's already in progress. Go watch it. Secondly, obviously, because this is my review of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there's going to be a lot of major plot spoilers in this video. So if you've not already played the games and the post-game, you might want to click off the video. Or if you really want to help the channel out, just mute the video from this point onwards and then just let the video play to the end so that I still get the retention. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into my review of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. The games have been out for just over a week now, and my god was it a whirlwind week of content. I myself did an 18-hour stream on Twitch, then went to sleep for 7 hours, got back up again and did another 10 hours to complete the game. That's 28 hours of streaming in less than 36 hours. Oh my word, it was an absolute nightmare. But the games themselves were incredibly fun and really enjoyable, and I had my hesitations going in because obviously we were told it's going to be an enhanced version, similar to the way Platinum was an enhanced version of Diamond and Pearl. This point I've hammered home so much lately, but it needs to be taken into account when we're looking at these new games. So of course, as we go through the story of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, we notice a mass of similarities to Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, released just 1 year ago. In fact, in some aspects of the story, scenes are word for word exactly the same as in the previous games. But again, I have to pad this out by saying that this is expected because it's an enhanced version. An enhanced version means it is the same game, but it's been enhanced, it's been refined. And that is exactly what Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon have turned out to be. They've turned out to be more polished versions of Sun and Moon. Like I've said to quite a lot of people, I can't really play Pokemon Sun or Moon anymore, like from start to finish, because they just feel unfinished. They feel incomplete. They don't feel like the full story. Whereas Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon really pads out the story, really makes the story go in a direction that I thought was more true to the characters, if you like. I just think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were so much better than Sun and Moon. And I remember just last year saying that I thought Sun and Moon were good contenders for the best Pokemon games of all time. Still not quite knocking off Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but definitely up there. But Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon has just knocked Sun and Moon out of the water. Now, contrary to these parts of the story that are exactly the same as Pokemon Sun and Moon, there were many parts of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that were very different to Pokemon Sun and Moon. So for example, there were very subtle changes, like the way we find our starter Pokemon. Instead of going to Hala all the way in Iki Town and then being gifted with a starter, it's a case of we're supposed to be gifted with a starter, but we get attacked by a Yungoos in the tall grass very early on, then Kukui turns up with the starters, and the starters try and save us, and then we have to pick one of those 3 Pokemon to go on a journey with us. That was a nice little touch. There's the part where we meet Lily and Tapu Koko and Cosmog for the first time, where instead of just hunching over the Spearow on the bridge in the cutscene, we actually have to fight one of the Spearow, which is a nice little twist, but at the same time, we then get greeted with the same cutscene anyway, so some of the changes are a lot more subtle than others. But then there are really massive changes in the story, especially when it gets to things like the Ultra Recon squad, who I'll get to in a minute, and the Necrozma storyline, where instead of it being, like, one of the great things that I really enjoyed was the fact that Luzamine wasn't exactly evil. Like, it played out the same way in that Luzamine was obsessed with the Ultra Beasts and she wanted to protect all Pokemon and all that from the start, but then it was like, oh, by the way, she actually is researching Necrozma and she wants to go and defeat Necrozma herself. She wants to go and save the day and be the hero. So she was actually technically a good guy, but was still kind of evil in the way she went about it, and I thought that was really cool. And then you have to go and save her, and things get very similar again, because you go to Executor Island, which is slightly different, and then you go and you get the flutes, and you go to the altar, and you open the wormhole, and lo and behold, Necrozma comes out and attacks Solgaleo or Lunala, whichever game version you're using. And then all hell breaks loose because it just dumps Luzamine and Guzma just right there, just slams them down on the floor. That's when, for me, it was just like, oh, things are going down. Because just seeing people's bodies being thrown to the floor is not something I'm used to in a Pokemon game. So it was like, this feels really like a lot more real, a lot more raw than we used to. And then you go to Ultra Megalopolis, and much like I said in an episode of the Elite Four podcast, I believe, it was going to be one linear street with just not much going on in there. And would you believe when we get to Ultra Megalopolis, there is one street we can go down, all the other streets are barricaded off so you can't go to them, and then you just go to the top of the tower and you fight Necrozma. And you don't even encounter any Pokemon in there. Like, you don't battle anyone on your way to Necrozma, it's just walk up the road, go up the stairs, and there's Ultra Necrozma ready to kick your booty. It's absolutely ridiculous. But while we're on the topic of Ultra Necrozma, let's talk about the challenges in this game, because I don't know if it's just me, but these games seem so much harder than Pokemon Sun and Moon. In Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the totem Pokemon were particularly difficult to take down. Like that totem Araquanid gave me trouble, gave everybody I know trouble. There were very few people who said that totem Araquanid gave them no problems. They were tricky Pokemon. I had difficulty with quite a few of the totem Pokemon, for a change. Like, I'm glad I wasn't doing a Nuzlocke. Like, I'm a little bit scared of how my Quadlock, over on Ace Trainalium Extra, by the way, like, I'm worried how it's going to go, because there are some Pokemon that are just not designed to be Nuzlocked against. Like, Ultra Necrozma is incredibly powerful. When you consider its base stats, like its speed's 127, its base special attack and attack, I believe, are like 167 apiece. And then when you couple that with Prismatic Laser, which is a 100% accuracy, 160 base power special attack that is a psychic type move, that is a stab move on top of everything, you're gonna have a bad time if you don't have any dark types with you. I honestly am really worried about Ultra Necrozma in any sort of Nuzlocke, because it's just going to be hell. Like, it KO'd most of my team in my playthrough. It was absolutely nightmarish. And plus, for those who haven't realised yet, it's part dragon. That's why nothing seems to affect it, because it's psychic and dragon, which is such a killer combo. But I liked the extra difficulty. The extra difficulty was really, really fun. And speaking of really, really fun, the Ultra Recon squad were really adorable characters. I thought they were going to be really boring and really serious and like, oh, we need to go and help the Ultra Wormhole. Oh no, it's all really serious. They were so stupid and so naive and so, like, not clued up about the real world, like outside of Ultra Space, that it was just really, really fun. Like, Dulce and Zossie are just two of the most adorable characters in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and possibly in the entire Pokemon franchise, because they were so just cute and almost childlike in the way they thought, because they didn't know about catching Pokemon, they didn't know about how Z crystals and things worked, and they were researching the real world, and they were just loads of fun. If you guys didn't like the Ultra Recon squad, like, have a heart, dude. I did also, on just a little side note, I really liked that instead of just defeating Guzma and him being like, oh, I've been defeated, wow, this sucks, I like that he sort of redeemed himself in the game. Like, he not only learned his lesson, said, you know what, I'm going to disband Team Skull, and then later on, of course, when we get to the post-game, which we'll talk about in just a moment, we get to see Guzma almost fighting against the evil teams because he just doesn't like their attitude, he just doesn't like who they are, and it's kind of nice to see the bad guy be redeemed and become a part of the good side. It was really fun, and I really liked the way they developed Guzma as a character a little bit more, gave him a little bit more substance. But while we talk about the post-game, let's just talk about how absolutely incredible it was, and the little fake out that Pokemon did, which was a nice little touch in hindsight. So when you start the post-game, you have to go to the battle agency in the Festival Plaza, because Sophocles has said Festival Plaza has been taken over by Team Rocket or Rainbow Rocket, and it's now under their control, and the only way to kind of defeat them is if you can beat them in the battle agency. And at first, I remember thinking, oh, well, this sucks. I thought this was going to be some kind of cool, like, series of battles in a Team Rocket kind of hideout, and we were going to be able to fight with our own Pokemon and stuff, but then we're stuck using Battle Agency Pokemon against Team Rocket grunts that just appear in the Battle Agency arena, and I was like, this really sucks. This is not fun at all. But then you get through that bit, and then you get to go home, and once you're at home, you see the report that Team Rainbow Rocket are taking over Aether Paradise. But that's when things get really good. You go to the Aether Paradise, it's been taken over by Team Rocket, Faber's there being the same old loser that he is, and you have to defeat him, but then you go inside and you get treated to a real nostalgia trip and a really, really cool area, because the Team Rocket castle is one of my favourite areas now in the whole of the Pokemon world, because it was just absolutely so much fun. We go in there and there's actual Team Rocket puzzles with warp pads and Team Rocket grunts, and they had the spinny floor thing that points you in certain directions. That was so much fun, going back to that old thing, trying to work out those spinner puzzles. And then of course you had the from Gold and Silver, you had the Meowth statues that if you directly walk in front of them, they call a grunt to you to attack you and stuff like that. And it was so much fun. It was a really fun, engaging bit of post-game stuff where there were actual puzzles to complete. There were actual things we needed to think about, which I've missed in a lot of Pokemon games. But then we get to the coup de grace from the whole thing, which is fighting the old evil team leaders. And one thing I really appreciate, and I really want to thank Game Freak for, is that they gave so much substance. It wasn't just, oh, this evil team leader is here. It was, this evil team leader is here. In his world, he achieved his purpose. He achieved his goal. And now he's either saying, I'm going to see what happens in this new region, I'm going to see what happens in this new universe, or they're like Lysander, who's just like, you know what, I was going to use the ultimate weapon in my old world, now I'm just going to use it in this world anyway. And one thing I really appreciated was that the evil team leaders had formidable Pokemon, and obviously they had their legendaries that they would have caught in their signature games because they're supposed to have completed their goals, which again I thought was really, really cool. I like though that they actually had strategy. Like Archie and Maxie led with Intimidate Pokemon, so they automatically were dropping your attack stat before you'd even started the battle. But then as you get through the battle, you get to their legendaries and you've got a Groudon that has Drought and Solar Beam, and you have a Kyogre that has Drizzle and Thunder, which is just, I should have seen it coming, but because they're NPCs, I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect NPCs to be using that kind of strategy, which was really, really impressive. And on top of that, the really, really nice touch, rather than them all having Mega Evolved forms of their signature Pokemon or Primal Reversions or things like that, Lysander was the only one who had a Mega Evolving Pokemon because, of course, Mega Evolution comes from his universe. Archie and Maxie were from the original Ruby and Sapphire universe rather than the Auras universe, and Lysander was from the X and Y universe, so he was the only one who could Mega Evolve, and of course had Mega Gyarados on his team, just like he does in Pokemon X and Y, which I thought was a beautiful touch on top of it all. And of course going through it was a little bit weird because it was like, oh, we faced Cyrus and then we faced Lysander, what happened to Gatesis? And then you see Gatesis afterwards and you're like, why are you out of order? What's this about? But then you realise they've given Gatesis a story, because Gatesis is someone who wanted to conquer the world, he wanted to take over the world and be in control by appointing someone as king that he could control. So he would have control, but someone else's face would be the face of like the universe or whatever. And he knew that Giovanni wanted to take over the universe, so he was like, you know what? Giovanni is controllable. If he takes control of everyone, I can then be the ultimate one in control. And I was just like, dude, that's so... I even said it in my stream. I said, that was so Gatesis. That was absolutely Gatesis' character through and through. So it really, really worked so well. They put so much thought into this. This is the kind of stuff I've wanted to see from Pokemon for an incredibly long time. And of course, Giovanni was incredible. Giovanni was so true to his character. I liked his team, and I liked, obviously, he had strategy because he had a Doug Trio that was holding Light Clay, which meant the Doug Trio could use Sandstorm, and it would last for 8 turns, which was a real pain in the butt. He had a physical attacking Nidoking, a special attacking Nidoqueen. He had a Rhyperior, which was my one little hiccup with his team. I honestly don't think Giovanni should have used Rhyperior. I think that he would have been smarter than that, and he would have used Eviolite Rhydon. That would have been a better touch, because that's more true to Giovanni. But I assume that he would have come to the other universes and gone, hey, look, Rhydon evolves, let's do that. That's about the way I can kind of justify him using Rhyperior. But then on top of that, he had his Mewtwo. And I was not prepared because, of course, they showed Mega Mewtwo Y in the trailers, and I didn't for a second ever consider maybe X and Y will be version exclusive in this generation, and maybe he'll use different forms of Mewtwo for the different Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So I was expecting Mega Mewtwo Y. So I led with my Incineroar, thinking Darkest Lariat or Malicious Moonsault, that's going to be a cakewalk. Oh, was I wrong? I was absolutely wrong, because in Pokemon Ultra Sun, he transforms into Mega Mewtwo X, which of course is a fighting type, and absolutely decimated me. If you guys want an idea of how difficult Giovanni was for me and the team that I had in my first run through, I finished that battle with 1 HP on my entire team. I had 5 fainted Pokemon, and I had a Crustle with 1 HP, and that was when I defeated Giovanni. It was absolutely by chance that I defeated him, and it's just a testament to how difficult the post-game is in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Like, the post-game is fantastic. If you want a challenge, go to the Team Rocket Castle and fight everybody there. But we need to give Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon a score out of 10. And if you'd have asked me in June, I wouldn't have probably said it had a chance in hell of getting the score that I'm about to give it. I would have said it's an enhanced version. It's not going to be that good. It's going to be Sun and Moon with a little bit of extra fluff. It's not really going to be deserving of a high grade. But based on my playthrough of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, based on my experience with it, based on how much I enjoyed it, based on the challenge that it gave me, I am giving Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon a 9 out of 10. Because it is incredible. Like I said before, Pokemon Sun and Moon were close to knocking Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver off my top spot for my favourite Pokemon games of all time. I would say Ultra Sun and Moon has not beaten Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but it has come closer than any other game. Like, I can't go back and play Sun or Moon anymore because they just, like I said, they just feel incomplete. They don't feel like the full games anymore. Whereas Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are the complete package. They have everything I could possibly have wanted out of Sun and Moon, and they've just added so much extra, and it's so fantastic of a pair of games. I can't fault them at this point. If you've not bought them yet and you watch this review because you don't care about spoilers and you are thinking, should I get the game, should I not? I'm going to wait till I hear a review. Here's a reviewer telling you, go and buy these games. They are fantastic. They are my favourite Pokemon games of the last 8 years. I had to think then, because Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out in 2009, so I was going to say of the last decade, but 2009 is still within the last decade. Whoops. But even if you're new to Pokemon, or if you've disappeared from the franchise for a little bit and not really played since like Diamond and Pearl or something, and you're like, I'm thinking to get back into Pokemon, should I? Play Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. You will not be disappointed. Thank you, Pokemon, for giving us another set of fantastic games just a year after what we thought were as good as they were going to get games came out. You've given us these, and these are fantastic. So everybody needs to thank Game Freak, everybody needs to thank the Pokemon Company International. They're all fantastic. I would like to point out, I'm not being paid to make this video by them. They do not sponsor me, and to be honest, who knows if they even like me. But I still really enjoyed the games, and I just wanted to tell you guys how much I enjoyed them. So thank you. I apologise if this has been a bit long and a bit rambly, but hey-ho, it's an Ace Trainer Liam video, so what do you expect? As I said before, my Let's Play of my Pokemon Ultra Sun Quadlock is on my second channel, Ace Trainer Liam Extra. There's a link in the description, and there will be a link at the end of this video. Also, if you like what I do on this channel and you'd like to support me for just $1 a month, get your name in the credits to these videos and see my videos before anybody else, consider becoming a Patreon, which is just $1 a month, which is less than the price of, I don't know, decent sellotape. And as always, follow me on Twitter for all my latest updates, and of course subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam, keep on training.